All right. Hello, dear listeners. Thank you for joining this podcast. Welcome to the Neem Capsule Podcast. In today's episode, we have three amazing professionals guests in our studios. They have a lot of experience working in the humanitarian space. They'll be introducing themselves shortly, but they work in the fields of education, mental health, and gender-related matters. So this edition is dedicated to the stories of women and girls. So moving to our guests, you can please introduce yourself, tell us a bit about yourself and what you do in Neem.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Faith Danladi. I have been working with Neem for over 4 years. I'm a psychologist.
Thank you so much, Faith. And moving on to you, Hawa, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Hawa. I've been working with Neem. This is my 7th+ year. And I've been working with 100 girls and Life Salary, and I've been working with mental health and psychosocial departments, and then I've been working with GBV. And presently we are working with women in the community on GBV section, and then with MHPSS too.
Thank you so much, Hawa. And finally, Parrot.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Parrot Dakan. I've been working with Neem Foundation since 2019. I've been working in the mental health and psychosocial department, and I've worked on several projects like the Second Chance Education, Yellow Ribbon Project, and now I'm currently on the CARE project.
All right, thank you so much. So we'll just jump right in, and my first question goes to Faith. We know that women and young girls in conflict-affected places have different challenges. How would you characterize their mental health challenges in relation to young boys? Would you say it's different, unique, or... so Faith can answer this, and then we can move on to Hawa to give her own insight on this. Okay, you can start first, Hawa.
Okay, for mental health, let me start with education now. Northeast has been a region where it has been affected with Boko Haram, and it's a high level of there's high level of insurgency, and there's lack of education due to the insurgency. Many schools have been destroyed, and now many girls have not been enrolled in school, and some went for a marriage. Their parents gave them out for wedding, marriage without their consent, and they feel not safe going to school. Why? Because of the high insecurity in some of the areas. Like for mental health, most of the, anytime there's insurgency, women are highly vulnerable. So they are the ones they are the caregivers, and they go a lot of distress. They are highly traumatized, and they're not getting support from their men. And for gender-based violence, women are at risk. Especially the girls that were not able to be enrolled in school, there's a high rate of there's high rate of exploitation. Maybe from the girls, they request for money, and then maybe from all those insecurity men, and then there's a high rate of gender-based violence. There's high rate of FGM, and there's high rate of sex exploitation, which some of the girls do that in order to support themselves and their family. I think Faith can add to that.
Okay. So thank you. So honestly, it has not been easy working with those people affected, because sometimes you go home with compassion fatigue. And sometimes you feel the need, this person I can't really help, because you can't help everybody. So it has been so challenging, but our intervention has really helped out in shaping their minds, because then women going to school was a bit very low, especially in the north. They don't really accept women going to school, unlike the men. But so far, so good with our intervention and proper advocacy. I think it has helped out a lot.
All right, thank you so much. Just a follow-up question on what Hawa mentioned. You mentioned the problem of early marriage among young girls in the North, and we understand that this has consequences for education. Issues like consent becomes raised up in this matter. What do you think is the way forward? How do you think we can discourage society, especially in the North, from having girls go too early into marriage, and how can we encourage them to push their children into education more? And a question for everybody who wants to answer.
Okay. One of the things that like most of the projects are doing, HAP project and Mind Care project, what we do is we create awareness, and then with the support of the power holders, the stakeholders, we create awareness, and then we went for advocacy, ensuring that those people that are in charge of the communities, like the bulamas or the women leaders and all those youth leaders, we focus on women and then parents. With their support, we're able to engage all those women that are not into so many activities. We engage them in so many activities, like into vocational skill, and then we also talk about marriage. Is it okay? Oh, okay. We also have a health talk on sexual reproductive health, right? Why? Because there's a lot of VVF going on, where young girl getting married. She faces a lot of challenges, like even producing a baby at a tender age. Apart from the VVF, maybe after producing one, she might not able to produce one again, and the husband would just feel like, oh, she's not producing, I have to just divorce her. And then we also engage in skill acquisition, and we also engage them in mindful technique that helps them after maybe overcoming their trauma. They move on with skill acquisition, maybe, and then we also engage them in VSLA, that's Village Saving Loan, to support themselves. We also have a supportive group, which the women sit together, talk about their challenges and their issues. They support themselves. We also have an activity like health talk. How women and girls take care of themselves, hygiene, and then hygiene, how to use sanitary towel, what drugs to take, how to go to the hospital when you are sick. Because some women feel like, okay, they prefer using a locally way, or maybe drugs or any traditional drugs to take for them to overcome some sickness, which is not really helping. So, and we have to work on maybe sit with them, talk with them, have a talk therapy in order for them to agree on that and to accept it. Sometimes when they believe in something for a long time, it takes time for them. It's a gradual process for them to accept what you are bringing on table. So these are the things we do. Maybe Parrot can add to that.
Okay. Let me just add a little bit about what Hawa said. I think the communities in Borno now, like, they have a lot of awareness about the girl child education, because currently in the community we are working, like, we had about 3 stakeholders. I think 2 weeks back they came. They were advocating if we could talk to the government if they can provide school, like a formal school in that community, because there is no formal school there in that particular community. So I think awareness in terms of education, they are a bit aware, but the facilities to be stationed in those communities are not really available, and the government are not really paying attention to that. So I think maybe it's something we can advocate if they can get those structures in those communities.
I think you both raised a very interesting points. Like, to Howard's point, you can't force people to start to see girl child education as important, but you can show them the way forward, and that's where advocacy and awareness comes into place. There's a second level where you can do all the advocacies that you want, but if the government doesn't buy in, or if the people don't buy in, then you're kind of like stuck in that way. That's an interesting conversation to have, but let's shift gears a bit more to the role of women leaders in fostering peace building. So you mentioned we have women leaders in the traditional system. What role do you think that they play? Because a lot of people don't know that women are very valuable in terms of peace building mechanisms.
Yeah.
What role do you think that they play? The question again, anyone who wants to answer?
Okay, I think I will speak specifically in Borno State. We have, you know how the North operates, like the men are let me say again?
Superior.
Yes, superior to women. But what we do on our own level, we encourage the women to participate in decision-making activities. They shouldn't just be reserved on their own decision. Like, they should always push so that their voices too will be heard, instead of just, staying back, the men taking charge of all the activities and everything happening in the community. So on our own part, like, we encourage them to participate in decision making.
Okay, let me add to that. We also, like she said, we create awareness, and we always have a dialogue session with both men and women. We start with the power holders, those women that are high rank in the community, like the women leader, the youth leader, the bulamas, the lawans. We hear from them first their challenges. So from there, our next sitting will be, we have identified those challenges. How can we work on that challenges? How can we mitigate on that challenges in order for us to be at one pace? So what we do, we always we listen to the men, we listen to the women, we listen to the men. We allow the women to talk more, because we want women to voice out. Because most of the communities, they don't allow women to voice out. So we give women a lot of chance to voice out in presence of those leaders, religious leaders, all those people that are in charge. Why? For them to have a support. And when they bring out all those issues that they are facing, sincerely, some of those community leaders, they don't even know. Because some women are facing all those challenges at their homes, facing it directly from their husbands or their mother-in-laws or sisters-in-law or some other family members. So when they voice out, those problems will be identified, placed on table, and then we decided to work on those issues so that women will have that opportunities. So now we have a lot of women leaders. We have women, like we had a training on power community structures. 48% from the 75, 48 are all women, and they are all high-ranking women. So now women are there, always going to community. In short, on their own, voluntary, they work hard in communities, getting all those women out there to come out and talk, and then they engage themselves. They don't really stay doing nothing. They find a way of, if a woman in a community is not doing anything, they invite her for a dialogue session. They talk about, what can you do? How can we help you? And then they listen to them. So all these things is sincerely, now there's a lot of awareness. Why? Because of the peace building we have. We have like in 35 communities. We did that in like 35 communities. And sincerely, from the impact, from the feedback, success story that we had, it's wonderful. Yes, I think Faith will add to that.
Okay, so prior to what she said, so a lot of changes has occurred, honestly, because I could remember when I started working with Neem Foundation 4-5 years ago, going for session, you hardly see men and women sitting together. But now, like, it has changed. In fact, in some communities, they advocate, why not men and women should sit together so that there are issues that will be discussed, and then the men will hear it, the women too will hear it, and then they will strike a balance. So, and then success stories that we have gotten from some of our beneficiaries, especially the women, coming to tell us, thank you. Now my husband, he has changed towards me. He used to allow me do some certain things that then I don't used to do. E.g. like going out, like going to school. Some of them, you see them, they will enroll themselves in school. Even if it means, just going, what's the name of this school called? This adult education. Some of them, you see them engaging themselves in adult education. Why? Because the perspectives of the men has changed towards, I'm the man who, I need to do this, I need to do that. I don't want her to do this. If not, she'll start feeling bigger than me. And so that's just the mentality, but a lot of things has changed.
Oh, that's a very...
Let me just add
go
a little
ahead.
bit, okay, to what Faith and Hawa said. In this current project we are running on the CARE project, there is this we called social analysis and action. It aims about gender transformation, where we'll bring communities together. That's both the men and women together, and then we'll now ask them, this is the role of men and this is the role of women. How will the woman feel if she's out of her box? That's, we have gender box. What the women are expected to do, and then what the men are expected to do. So what if we are trying to educate them that a woman can do what a man can do, and also a man can do what a woman can do, so that we'll not be on the same box. Like at times we can go outside our box to do other activities without hurting anyone, since it is religiously accepted. So
no, I think that's interesting when the analogy of the box, because in many ways the gender roles seem to fit into those boxes. I have an interesting question. I would love to hear your answer to this, but traditionally the boxes that men and women fall into have been made by men.
Yes.
And a lot of in that sense, the power and the exciting roles have been given to men to do, and the roles that men didn't want to do, they gave it to women to do. And from the success stories that you're sharing, it sounds like men are becoming more receptive to actually allowing women to step out of these boxes. Why do you think these men are accepting this when their roles are so powerful? Why do you think they are actually taking away power from themselves to actually do what we think is right?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, for me, is the awareness still. Because like I said, then it wasn't like that, but now things are changing. Like things have changed. So they are more aware that, I cannot really take care of the family single-handedly. Since my wife is here, why not let me allow her maybe do a business or maybe go to school so she can help out in taking care of the children or taking care of the house.
So you're saying there's like a socioeconomic incentive towards allowing women more freedoms. That's interesting.
Right. Should we say anything?
No, go ahead.
Okay, for me, I think some of the success stories we received during this the process of the SAA intervention, I think most men, you won't just come to the community and tell them just do this, like you just give them what if you do this, do you think it's going to be harmful? They'll say no, like it's something that we can do. But then let me give a scenario. There is this particular man in the training, so we are now saying, you and your wife gave birth to a kid, do you get? So now, am I the only one, that's as a woman, am I the only one that will take care of the kids and all? He said that if it is in the room, that he can take care of his kids, but outside, that he can't do that. And all that, the community members will laugh at him, but then in the room, like he normally does that and all. But after the training, he tried it, as in he tried holding his kids, like walk outside the house. Sorry, I was emphasizing on room, just within the compound. So he was like, he took one of his kids and then just walk around the community and all. Like people were amazed that this is something that on a normal day, a man in that community cannot just hold his kids and then walk around in the community and all. So that gave a different perception about whatever, as in if I'm able to do this, and then it's a good thing, it's not a bad thing, and people are emulating that particular act that he did, since it's not harmful. I think that's so I'll come to you, Hawa, just to reflect on what Red just said. I think it's very interesting the way culture and like social norms influence people individually, but I think what people don't realize that culture and these norms can be undone. So like with your example, one person does something like walking his child, people can look at that and say, why can't I do this? This is normal. And just like that, from the actions of one person, you can
begin to unravel these cultural norms that seem so rigid, and it's created by everyone, and anyone can like break out of it and say, you know what, I'm doing something different. So I think that's a very interesting point. And finally, to you.
Okay, like what my Faith and Perret said. One thing that we are happy about is acceptance. Okay, for us to have a dialogue session, and then awareness, and for the men to accept. Oh, okay, I need to allow my wife to explore, to understand the way of life, because they believe that women have all they do is just sit at home. That's what they believe. Or like some other areas, women will just go to the farm and help. But after all those trainings, all those dialogue sessions, and all those awareness campaign, and all those advocacy, they're able to understand that, so women played a lot of huge role. And there's from a success story that one of our clients said that now the person that is supporting him most among his children is the girl, that she's the one supporting him is with either money, because she's into business, she's so cap. He said he don't even buy cap, because then he refused to allow her go to school, do any business or anything. He was planning to give her out for marriage to his friend, same age with him. So after all those, he realized that my daughter need all this, because of the way of life now. So she learned how to sew cap, which we use in expressive therapy for mindful technique. She knows how to weave hand fan. So all that after weaving the fan, she decided, okay, why not I start selling it? So after selling it, she earns a lot of money. So it can be up to 15,000. So with that, what the father even said that, okay, now I don't even buy cap. So he was so happy that, now this is all the opportunities that girls need. So he's part of those that are advocating for, okay, please allow your girls to go to school, engage them, don't take them out for marriage or anything, just wait for the due time and all those things. So it really works for us, sincerely, from the feedback, yes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, sorry, in addition to what she said, from one of the feedback that I personally got from one of our clients, he said, with the advocacy that has been done and the awareness that was created, that he thinks he's going to put more effort in putting his female children in school than the men. That he feels, okay, with the men they can fend for themselves, but for the women, when they are in school or maybe business or something, it gives them a sense of direction rather than falling back to men for support, and that can lead to them doing that can lead into prostitution also.
Just vicious cycles. All right, thank you all so much. I wish we had more time. This has been a very interesting conversation. I'm pretty sure the audience has enjoyed this. But just a summary of everything we've discussed, I think it's key to understand the role of dialogue, because how I mentioned, acceptance. We're not trying to force people into an idea. We're trying to make them see that this is a better thing for themselves, for their family, for their communities, and that's what we are doing. So once again, thank you guys so much for joining the conversation. It's been very helpful, and thank you all for listening. It's been fantastic. Join us again for this conversation. Thank you.